up some barbecue for you. T-Roy's chilling in the backyard grilling, showing you that you can cook it too. Always with a beer or whiskey, but he cooks responsibly.
Hey everybody, welcome to T-Roy Cooks, and welcome to another Tuesday chat with old T-Roy. This is a taped one. Next week we'll probably be live again. If it is, I'll put up an event to remind you, okay? First things first, somebody was asking me on Facebook, I think it was, about these sunglasses. And I got several different sunglasses, but these really nice looking ones that y'all see me wear on my Tuesday chats, these are made by Randolph. They're aviators, and they're pretty pricey, but I love them. I love them. I don't wear them too often because I don't want to mess them up. But yeah, I got another pair out here that I wear for just getting in the pool and hanging out, you know, or when I'm cooking and stuff. Anywho, there you go. Y'all wanted to know? Randolph. I got them from Amazon. What else? Oh, what are we drinking today? Trying out a new beer, man. It's a local beer, you know. Support your local businesses, folks. This is from White Stone Brewery. I think they're out of Cedar Park. Let me see. Yeah, they're out of Cedar Park. This is their Long Gone Blonde. And the story on the back says, relax with a blonde that won't leave you in the... Hang on. Relax with a blonde that won't leave you in the dirt. With smooth, whole vanilla bean and zesty orange peel. This is one beauty that you can only hold on to, Long Gone Blonde. Anyway, we're gonna try it out. So it's got a little vanilla bean, it's got a little bit of orange peel. Does it say what the ABV is on it? I don't think it does. Yeah, it does. 5.2. So anyway, support your local business is what the point of this is. Plus it's hot out here. It's like 92 degrees. Cheers. Sorry about all you guys that are having all the issues with the flooding and tornadoes and all that. My heart goes out to you. Prayers out to all of you guys out there that are suffering from the, you know, the flooding and wind damage and all that good stuff. Man, breaks my heart to see all that. Cheers. Let me know if I can do anything. All right, we got some questions from last week's chat, maybe a couple chats. Anyway, let's get to it. First question's from Skinner's Farm. How you doing, Skinner? I appreciate you joining. I think Skinner's Farm is a new one. I hadn't seen him comment too awful much. Maybe he's just a lingerer, been lingering for a while. Either way, he's asking a question. Let's get to it. It says, what do you think of the charbroil offset? Not a whole lot. No, it's great if you're just wanting to get into barbecuing and smoking meats and stuff. It's okay, all right. But you know, you get what you pay for when it comes to a smoker most of the time. So that's a cheap one, you know. But if that's all you can afford, it'll cook. It'll cook. But it'll leak a lot. It'll burn a lot more fuel than the more expensive ones. You won't get as good of a flavor off of it as an actual well-built offset. But yeah, starting out, it'll work. It'll work. Next one's from OneGun Salute. Hey, T-Roy, and cheers. OneGun Salute. Cheers, brother. Folks, if I mention anything important, or any of these guys or YouTubers that are asking questions, I'll put the information down below in the description box. I'll just hit show more. In fact, I'll include a link to these glasses on Amazon, my affiliate link, just in case you're wondering. Alright, OneGun Salute says, I've got about 5 cooks in on my Weber Smoky Mountain 22. It seems when I use water in the pan, it steams and accumulates in the charcoal bowl. Have you experienced with this? No, I haven't. Let's keep reading. He says, it cuts my cook time way down. Man, you must have a raging fire in there, huh? I mean, I get a little bit of steam, but the water's not really even moving. Sounds like you got boiling water up in there. Anyway, keep going. He says, though I can maintain 225 for 18 hours plus with no water after I added the gasket kit. Are you a firm believer in debarking wood chunks? Does it really make a difference? Alright, so you're not using water and you added the gasket kit. Okay, that's cool. You know, that's cool. Whatever floats your boat, man. I personally like my Weber Smoky Mountain to breathe a little bit. I don't like it to be so airtight that it's like a ceramic cooker, you know. I just like to have some air flowing in there, you know. Anyway, and I don't mind a little smoke coming out of my door or my lid. You know, I don't mind that. You know, I think all this stuff about having a cooker that is leak proof, I think all that's overrated in my opinion. But again, it's your cooker. Do what you want, man. That's cool. As far as wood chunks, he's asking wood chunks. I actually do prefer wood chunks or wood splits from Offset to be without bark. The bark is basically an insulation on the tree, and it takes quite a lot of heat and a long time to burn through that bark. And while it's burning through the bark, you get more of a bitter smoke flavor than just the wood itself. I mean, try it and see. Do side by side, and I guarantee you're going to prefer the smoke from the wood that doesn't have any bark on it. But you know, everybody different. Just like, you know, some people like chocolate, some people don't. Your mileage may vary. Me personally, though, yeah, if I can get it without bark, yeah. And if I get some that's got a lot of bark on it, I may just pry that off with a flathead screwdriver or something, you know, get that bark off there. Appreciate the question, man. And have a good summer smoking on your Weber Smoky Mountain. Keep that smoke rolling, brother. Cheers. Next question's from Brandon B. What we got for you there, Brandon? He says, T-Roy, love your channel, brother. I appreciate the support. Thank you much, Brandon. Brandon here from Lafayette, Louisiana. Cool, bro. Small world, ain't it? Yeah. Originally from the Baton Rouge area, so about 50 miles from you. All right, Brandon says, do you grill or smoke Flanken cut ribs? What's the best way to cook them? I like to smoke them. I like smoking them because when you cook them lower and slower temps, you know, you get time to develop a bark on them. And also it lets that fat that's in the meat kind of render a little bit and kind of make that meat tender and juicy, you know. Now you can grill them. Like I can grill them on the San Maria or my gas grill or my Weber kettle, whatever. But it's going to be tougher and it's going to be drier. So again, whatever floats your boat, man. Me personally, I like smoking them low and slow. And sometimes I wrap, sometimes I don't. Depends on the whim of that day. It's all good stuff, though. It's all good stuff, man. I never turned down some beef ribs. If you're not familiar with Flanken style, it's like it's short ribs, but they take let's say you got the whole flank, you know, the whole bank of ribs there, the rack of ribs, and all the bones are running this way. Okay, what you're doing is cutting with a bandsaw across all those bones, the thickness that you want. So what you wind up with is a piece of meat that's like that long, and you can cut it in half if you want, but you got a long piece of meat that's got bones. Everywhere the bones were running through the rack, you got bone in it, but there's a lot of good meat there, and you can make that cut as thick as you want. I usually get my butcher to do it a couple inches thick, you know, at least 1.5 inches. Some fine ribs, man. That's my favorite ribs right there, man. Woo, doggy, that's good. Thanks again, Brandon. Appreciate it, brother, and cheers to you. Man, it's hot out here. I might go get the pool. Go get in the pool. I was going to try to do this earlier, but both of my neighbors started cutting their grass. I had to put it off a little bit. All right. Oh, we got a YouTuber here. The Root Boy Cooks. What's up, Sal? Rock on, brother. Cheers. Sal's link will be up here, folks. I don't know if I plugged Sal enough. I'll put his link up here for you and down below in the description. He's got a question, though. Let's see what he says. He says, I have an off-topic question for you. Hit me, Sal. Hit me. He says, do you play any instruments? If so, what? And happy birthday. 49 again? Thanks, Sal. I appreciate that, bro. Man, we had that crawfish boil last weekend for, in fact, it was a week ago. Today's Saturday. I'm shooting this for the Tuesday coming up. But last Saturday, the 25th of May, yeah, man, had a bunch of YouTubers here, and man, we had a blast. That was actually, my birthday was the week before, but not everybody could make it the weekend of my birthday, so we all settled on the 25th. So there you go. I'm 52. There you go, 52. Let's see, instruments. I do play instruments. I play a little bit of just a little bit of piano, not much. And I play the bass guitar. My brother Sean, Moonshine's Roadhouse, he's the one that's really heavy into playing different instruments and singing and all that. I mean, I can do all that stuff, but I just don't. You know, I've got an acoustic guitar. I never play it. I got a bass guitar. I never play it unless I'm going hanging out with my brother. Okay, we get together, we hoop and holler and sing and have a good time. You know, but yeah, bass guitar would probably be my specialty if I were in a band, which my dad was. My dad was a keyboard player in a band, country band, for a long time. Appreciate the question, Sal. Thanks, man. Rock on. Eric Portillo, he says, hey, T-Roy, man, love your video. Appreciate that, Eric. Thanks, man. Appreciate all the support from all you guys out there. He says, one question, hope you can help me with. How can I quickly grill whole beef ribs and have the meat be tender? Thank you. What would I do? Cook them quickly? Cook them quickly means you're going to have to wrap them, man. I'm not sure how quick you're talking about, but usually beef ribs will probably take 4 to 6 hours. Kind of like pork ribs, you know, usually 5-6 hours. But if you wrap them, you know, just maybe put them in the smoke for like the first hour and then wrap them and leave them wrapped. You can probably get them done in like 4 hours. If you really want to get them done quicker, you can put them in some smoke and then grill them for maybe 10 minutes. Then wrap them. Crank the heat up. After you smoke them, crank the heat up to grill them and to wrap, and then put them on the cooker wrapped. Cranking that heat up to like 325 or so, 350, while they're wrapped, that'll definitely increase the speed of the cook. I haven't tried it that way, so I can't give you an estimate, but I would guesstimate probably 3 to 4 hours if you do it that way, maybe even less. There you go, Eric. Appreciate the question, man, and cheers to you. See what else we got. Now, I won't tell you guys, I only had like 10 questions or something like that out of the past 2 chats. So if you're watching this and you can't catch me answering your question on a live stream, live chat, which is every other Tuesday, when you see these chats that are taped, put your question down in the comments section below, just like you're going to leave me a comment saying, I love the video, or thanks for all the whatever, you know. Leave your question there. I'll take it and I'll add it to my list, which I'm using right now, you know, so I'll answer your question eventually. I may, you know, if y'all flood me with questions, I can't do but maybe 10 to 15 questions per video, and plus my camera shuts off after 30 minutes. I'm going to get me a different camera that won't shut down. It's a camcorder. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I got one I can use, but the image quality on this Canon EOS R, love the image quality on this thing, man. Anyway, we better answer some questions. Okay, I'm rambling here. Where were we? Abraham O says, hi, what do you think about M grills, specifically the M1 grill? Love that it has the ability to use it as an offset and a charcoal grill. Love the look of it. However, there are no videos apart from the company that makes the grills. You have an experience with this grill? I already have a Kamado Joe, a PK, a Weber kettle, but I like the high-end grill and the new M1. Dude, I did not know about the M1s until I was looking at this question. So I pulled up their website. That M1 is a tank. That son of a gun is a tank, bro. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having one of those in my backyard. They look really cool, man. 304 stainless, really thick metal on it. It's a little pricey, but man, I bet that son of a gun will cook. Like you said, you can use wood, charcoal, whatever, man. I bet that thing is solid, and it's got gasket material. We were talking about gaskets on the Weber Smoky Mountain earlier, so it's not gonna leak. That's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah, man. If you get that, let me know what you think about it. I would definitely be wanting to take a gander at that. That'd be sweet. Was that all he had? Yeah, cool. All right. Thanks, Abraham. I appreciate the question. I would suggest you get something, if not the M1, then something of that high quality. Okay. Cheers, brother. Appreciate the question. See how long we're going here. Nope, I got about 12 minutes. All right, Craig Sweet. How you doing, Craig? Appreciate the support and the question, my man. Says T-Roy, love the videos. Keep up the great work. Thank you. I couldn't do this without all you guys. And I'm gonna tell you something else too, man. Last June of 2018, I reached 100,000 subscribers. I got my silver play button. Me and Justin over at Justin's house, Baby Black Maniac, we made a video on that. But this past June, I made 100,000 subscribers. Now it's June 2019, 1 year later. I've almost doubled my subscriber count. I'm almost at 200,000. I'm like 191, 192,000, somewhere in that range. So in 1 year, I've doubled the subscriber count that I had. And that's when y'all hear me talking about all the new channels out there, you're asking me, how can I get new subs? How can I, you have to be patient. I've been doing this since 2012. It's my 7th year, starting this month, May. I've been doing it 7 years. So it takes a while, but your channel, the sub count usually grows exponentially. It took me forever to get to 500, and then maybe half the time to get to 1,000 after that. And then to get to 2,000, maybe about the same amount of time as it took me to get to 1,000. And then, 5,000, not that much longer than, I'm just saying, you grow faster the more subs you have. Because the more your channel is getting out there, the more that YouTube is pushing it. So just be patient, just do your thing, don't ever buy subscribers. Don't do that. You'll get in trouble for that. YouTube may kick you. They won't let you monetize anything. So don't do that. Don't cheat. Be yourself. Build your own fan base. Don't try to be a copycat and do other people's videos and stuff. But just be yourself. People will love you for your personality, your humor, your skills. All that kind of stuff. So just have fun with it, man. That's what I do. But I couldn't do this without all you guys. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Appreciate it. Craig Sweet, I think that's where we were. He says, wife got him a 14.5-inch Weber Smoky Mountain for his birthday. He's been wanting a smoker for some time. Cool, you got a cool wife. My wife got me a Weber kettle. Gotta love our wives, man. When they buy us barbecue gear and cookers. All right, only issue is he lives in the city, so the space is limited. Okay, I got you. He says, I really want to try my hand at a brisket, but there are some size restrictions in the 14.5. Yeah, you're right, man. You won't be able to put a full packer or a full rack of ribs on that thing, man. We have to cut it. He says, would you recommend I split the brisket into the flat on one grate and the point on the other, or stick with smoking just the flat until we get more room for a bigger smoker? Cheers. You can definitely split it up. Yeah, nothing wrong with that, man. But if your store just sells the flat or just the point, that may be the way to go, just to kind of get familiar with the Weber Smoky Mountain, But man, all the Weber Smoky Mountains have the same basic design. They're just different sizes, but it's the same design, so it's still going to cook pretty much the same. Now we'll say the 14.5-inch, you may be a little closer to the charcoal than you would on the 18 or the 22 for that matter. But the amount of charcoal on the bottom is smaller, so I would think that you would still get pretty much the same burn, the same kind of heat, cooking 225 shouldn't be a problem, or 250 or 275, or heck, if you wanted 245. Anyway, have fun with it, man. If you really like the point, just cook the point. If you really like the flat, just cook the flat. Now the flat will be, if you separate it, the flat will come out drier than usual if it's still attached to the point. Yeah. So I'm confusing myself. So if you do cut it, just realize you may have to inject that flat. All right, and you may want to wrap it too with some broth or something in there to kind of keep it moist as you can. Hope that helps. Appreciate it. Cheers to you, Craig. I got to get rolling here, man. All right, I got 3 questions left, and I got about 7 minutes. That's gonna be just about right. That's good timing on T-Roy's part there. Bobby Miller. We got a Bobby Miller barbecue here. You can? All right. He says, all right, Bobby's telling me, you talked about Weber Smoky Mountain and Primo recently and said the ceramics run on not much low heat and smolder as opposed to Weber Smoky Mountain burning out of fire. I think I understood what you were writing. Yeah, the ceramic cookers are more efficient. Once you get them up to temp, they will maintain temps on, very little fuel. I mean, you can reuse that if you fire that thing up with like a half load. You may lose that. You may use that half load on 3 or 4 cooks. You know, if they're shorter cooks. You know, a really long brisket or pork butt or something. You know, no. But anyway, yeah. So they are a lot more fuel efficient. But if you're cooking low and slow, in my experience with the Kamado Joe that I had, other Kamados like the Primo may be different. But cooking low and slow, since I've already tasted meat that's barbecued on an offset, throw that out there too. If you are familiar with the flavor of true barbecue cooked on a wood stick burner, an offset, and then you taste meat that's barbecued low and slow on a ceramic cooker, you're going to taste the difference. You can taste the difference on the Weber Smoky Mountain too, you know, between the offset and the Weber Smoky Mountain. I'm just saying, if you're familiar with the offset flavor, then when you try low and slow barbecue on a ceramic cooker, especially if you're cooking below 250 or 275, all right, you're going to get some smoldering flavor in the meat because you're smoldering that fire to keep it down at a low temp. Whereas the Weber Smoky Mountain, you've got 3 vents on the bottom that are just, you know, fueling that charcoal and the wood chunks and stuff in there. So you've got air movement, and that's going to help so that you don't get a dirty smoke. You know, I mean, the Weber Smoky Mountain will smoke quite a bit, you know, especially when you got wood chunks on there and stuff. And that's the other thing too. Somebody was just asking today, I think on Twitter, they were asking me, they had an electric smoker, and they said they can't get the thin blue smoke. Folks, thin blue smoke is really only possible, from what I've seen, on an offset. I mean, my Weber Smoky Mountain, I don't get a thin blue smoke unless my wood chunks are burned up, you know, at which point I can add more wood chunks if I see it stop smoking. Your electric smokers, you know, you're burning wood chips or chunks, pellet smokers, stuff like that. I mean, most of the cookers out there that are smokers, if they're not a true stick burning offset, you're not going to get a thin blue smoke. You'll get some billowing white smoke. You may get kind of a thin blue smoke a little bit, but you're not going to get that thin blue smoke that we describe when we're cooking on an offset cooker. So don't let that throw you. Don't let that dispel you or anything. Just use your cooker. If you get the meat off and you taste it and it tastes too bitter, then you use too much smoke. Nothing wrong with that. Just try it again. I've done it myself. Back when I was, you know, starting out, I'd oversmoke my meat. The first time I tried smoking meat on my Weber Smoky Mountain, I oversmoked. Now I just use 2 chunks, maybe 3 if it's fruit wood, but if it's a hardwood like a hickory, mesquite, pecan, oak, I'm using 2 chunks usually. Unless they're small, then I may use 3. Anyway, I'm rambling again. Hope you all enjoyed that little rant, little ramble. It wasn't really a rant. Anyway, Bobby says, would you compare the brisket pork butt coming off of each? Which do you think is best? Love the show. Yeah, I just did that, Bobby. I'm sorry. I went ahead. I didn't even read the question. Yeah, so definitely I prefer the Weber Smoky Mountain over Kamado Joe. Cooking low and slow. Kamado Joes and other ceramics are fine cooking at 250 or 275 and higher. They work great. Don't get me wrong. Next question is from Ali Biddles. He says, hey, all the way up from the UK, mate. I had a bit of a nightmare with my pit barrel cooking ribs. He says, in that I burned them. These were around around a 1 pound rack, and I cooked these for around 3 hours, and when I checked, I was running at 210 degrees. Would you pull them at 165 or 175? Also, I used 2 medium chunks of hickory. Made the food too smoky. What do you recommend as the guru? Now, we were just talking about the smoking stuff. And folks, I know when you're starting out, a lot of you guys cook by temp. Don't cook by temp. And we're talking about the internal temp of the meat. Don't cook by the internal temp of the meat. That's a rough guide. Every piece of meat's different. You have to cook by how tender it is. When you probe it, the probe should go into the meat and come back out like it's going through room temperature butter. Don't worry about the internal temp. I mean, I've had a brisket that wasn't probe tender until it was like 225 or something internal Fahrenheit. So you can't go by that all the time. As far as your ribs, just poke the meat with a thermopin or some other instant read probe. Poke it, or with a fork or a toothpick will work too. just poke the meat in between the rib bones, and if the toothpick or whatever goes in, it comes back out really tender, you're done. Pull the ribs. You're good. You may still want to sauce them and throw them back on for maybe 10 minutes, let the sauce tack up, but they're basically done. That's with any meat that you cook. Pork butt, ribs, chicken, whatever. Just, well, chicken's different. Brisket, all that stuff. Yeah, man. Poultry, you do need to temp the internal. And steaks, you know, unless you're familiar with how to do the, you know, the method, you know, then probe your steaks and pull them off. They're going to rise about 5 to 7 degrees usually after you tint them in foil, after you take them off. So internal temp should be about 5 to 7 degrees below what you want the steak to finish up as for the internal, you know, for the color and rare, medium rare, well done, whatever. All right, let's see what else I got. All right, I got almost a minute. Let's hopefully we can get it in. From the Lionessa 10, it says, Troy, can you explain to us newbies when and why you spritz meat and explain the possible choices of apple cider vinegar or apple juice, etc. I let the bark set up, okay, which means let the meat sit on the smoker for an hour or two until you start to get some color, and until you can put your finger or your hand on the meat and you don't get a lot of rub on you. That means the rub's set. At that point, you can spritz anytime you want. Spritzing helps put moisture on the meat, which helps draw smoke. So that helps with your bark, helps with your smoke flavor. See, my timer's going off, so I need to hurry up. So yeah, man, you, as far as different kinds of spritz, I use whatever I have in my fridge. I mean, honestly. Usually on beef, you don't want to use something sweet. So you want to use beef broth or beef consomme or something like that, beef stock, you know, or water. Water works very, very well with beef as well. But on pork and poultry and stuff, you can use the fruit juices, okay? I got to rush. Hope that helps. Sorry, but that was my last question. So thanks for all the questions, guys. Folks, cheers to y'all. We'll see y'all live next Tuesday. Be sure and check out Thursday's video for my cooking. Every Thursday I put out a cooking video unless I'm on a trip on vacation or something. But anyway, love you guys. Cheers to you. If y'all like this, y'all give me some thumbs up. Hope you share the video. And when you do, please tell all your friends that T-Roy cooks responsibly. Cheers, everybody.